Realtor tip number 8. So I have been having a lot of problems having people sign a buyer representation form as far as seeing a rental, right? So I think it's very ironic how that works. Buyer representation forms aren't legally mandated for rentals, but they are for buyers. So what that means is that this NAR settlement, when it happened in August of last year, the reason why it happened was because there wasn't enough transparency in the buyer process in the buyer listing process as to who's getting paid, how they're getting paid, and how that all works. So the settlement happened because of transparency. Now this form shows you how long you're representing the buyer, where you're representing them. So procuring cause, which means if I showed you a property and then 15 days later you went with another realtor and bought it, I procured that I caused that to happen, right? So you're getting paid for it. So it's protecting us as well. It shows you if there's a retainer fee. There's a lot that it shows you, and it's free to sign as long as that realtor doesn't charge a retainer fee. What I'm getting at is this was made for you guys, this buyer representation form. This is for buyers, and it's mandated for buyers, right? Now, as far as rentals and leases, it's not mandated for that, which I think is so backwards because it should be, because what you're doing is the same thing. You're hoping that the listing agent will produce the commission, and you're telling them how you're representing them, what your expectations are from them, as well as what their expectations are of us. So it's crazy and very ironic that you're the one who wanted this to happen because you were confused at some point, the buyer was, and then the rental process, if I want to show you a rental, I'm like, hey, let's have this signed. Just because that's the way that I do business. It's not mandated that it has to happen that way, but when they're reluctant to sign that, it raises a lot of questions for me, because it's like, this is something that came from the concern of the client, and I'm trying to protect myself as well as protect you guys and tell you guys how commission is going to be paid out. So what are your guys' thoughts on this? I think it should be mandated for rentals as well as buyers because of the transparency, and I think that it's probably going to be mandated for rentals as well at some point. But how it's not is just a crazy concept to me. What are your guys' thoughts?